Hey, what's up, everyone? The watch list video here for Wednesday, May 18th. The SPY gapped up today and closed pretty strong. It was hanging around that 400. Any number divisible by 100 can kind of be a magnet, and you see it close to it here, then the next day, then sold off, then found its way right back up to it, right? Now today, firmly above it. What does that mean? I have no idea. But we'll see what it does if it gets to the falling daily 20 moving average. But in the meantime, we got a nice bounce in progress. Again, it's tough for a long bias trader in what I would call a weak overall market. After a few day bounce, it's a little tougher, right, to find clean intraday long setups. But I do have a few on the list here. One quick highlight, and again, I'm only trading the mornings because I have family in town. So one quick highlight from today: INDO looked maybe about like this. This is the opening 5-minute candle. Yesterday, topped out at 1885, and then I noticed this morning had basically hit that same number, 1885. Actually, to be technical, 1886.99. Again, I don't know how that happens, but basically had a potential 2-day high break, meaning a break of this morning's high was also basically the same number as yesterday's high. So I basically called it. I said over 1886 is basically a 2-day high break, and look what happens. I mean, these are 5-minute candles, and these are the kind of setup we look for. Something that triggers and gives you a quick buck or more right within a few minutes, and that's a neat little trade right there. It ended up rolling over, as I believe oil itself did, but still gave a nice trade. So that was like a highlight from this morning. And again, then I'm not really trading after the mornings for this week because I have family in town. So what are we watching for Wednesday? TTWO, nice volume, had the gap up and a strong close. Definitely want to keep an eye on that one tomorrow. Twitter, I don't know if this should be on watch, but it did finally put in a green day. Had it on bounce watch today. Before I left the morning, I said Twitter could be one to look for a bounce play, meaning a break of the early high, which was 37.85. And anyone that got long that, it chopped around for a while after breaking it, but then ended up getting going a little bit. So you could have had I don't know if anybody in chat took that and profited from it or not. I wasn't around, but anyway, you do have a nice bounce, and keep in mind the buyout offer was $54, and it came down below where it was before the buyout offer was announced. So I mean, it's kind of interesting. Certainly could have another day of a bounce in it, right? AGRI, interesting chart, big rip yesterday. Inside day to day, looking for a 3rd-day play. Closed pretty strong today. AI, nice volume 3 sessions ago, and then it's kind of flagging since. And you can kind of see it more cleanly when I use 15-minute candles. There's the big day, then the next day it topped out at 1823, and then kind of interesting, today it topped out at exactly 18. So a break of 18 tomorrow, we know that 1823, just to the left, could be another potential catalyst. So we do like stacked catalysts. I want to keep our eyes on AI. AFRM is kind of another one like that. It had the gap up and kind of chopping sideways, but when you switch to 15s, you can kind of see a clear breakout area, which would be over this area, 25.52. What was today's high? 25.33. So you kind of had the gap up, and I guess you could argue sort of a flag. So that one's holding up pretty well. I want to watch that one. VERU, very strong close. And actually looks like an after hours went up over 16. Looks like it closed at 16.15 in after hours. That's had a big move already, so I've kind of questioned whether or not it should be on the watch list because it's ahead of itself, and right now it's a pretty whippy trader. I would argue like this: put it on a chart, but it's certainly not one of my top picks because it's extended. BWV really beaten up the last couple days, but it's had some nice volume and nice moves. I screwed up by not having this on bounce watch, right? Because we had let me go to 15 to see it a little better. You had the big climb here, and then in 2 days, kind of a big whoosh down, right? And so then this morning's early high, 445. I mean, once you get through that, what do you have? You've got a recent high flyer after a couple red days, breaking the early opening range, and you could have had a really nice trade. And I'm embarrassed to say I saw it happen and didn't do anything with it and didn't call it. But it should have been on bounce watch, so everyone in chat would have already had it on watch, and I just kind of blew it. Anyway, having said all that, intraday did make a nice move from a low near $4 to all the way up to over 560, but closed well off of its highs. It's been in play enough lately that I'm going to keep it on a chart. All right, QTWO, big pop today and a strong close. Absolutely going to have that one on watch. NUTX, recent high flyer, ripped here, had a nice secondary rip here, held up well for about a week and then gave it all back, but held support at that $5 area and is starting to turn back up again. You go to 5-minute candles, a pretty nice move, right? From 580 to almost over 760 at one point. So as a day trader, and there it is on kind of 15-minute candles going back a little over 10 days probably. Anyway, as a day trader, with that move it made today and a recent high flyer, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to put AMC and GameStop both on watch. There they are. Let me go back to AMC and zoom in a little bit now. AMC had that nice pop a few days ago, kind of coiling and starting to turn back up, and you can make the same argument for GME. So both of those are interesting. A couple more. CYN, I already had on Bounce Watch coming into today. Didn't give a trigger, so guess what? It goes right back on Bounce Watch tomorrow. And then a Walmart, that's only one big day down after an earnings disappointment. But if you pan out, it's not very far from, I mean, the most recent low would have been all the way back last March. Got down near 126, 127. So I don't know. I guess I'd like to see another red day, but you know, sometimes when you get an earnings disappointment in a big name like Walmart, you get a nasty day. Sometimes you get a nice snapback the next day. So that's, you know, I only take it with a proper setup. So anyway, I'm going to put it on Bounce Watch. I think I'd like to see another red day first, but we'll see. Doesn't cost me anything to put it on a chart. I got to wrap this up because I still got other things to do. I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.